Greetings and God bless you. This is Sam Smith coming at you from Troy, Ohio. I apologize for last week. There were more uploading difficulties and the video was cut in half. But it was kind of interesting because this last weekend we had the Young Adult Advance. And about 50 people came in from around the country, including the fellow laborers. And the main topic was your role in the body. And everyone that is in the body is called to the body, and we all have the opportunity to make Jesus our Lord and enter into this thing that God's given to us. And we all have our role to play. Like I said last week, whether you're called to mop floors, if you're where you're supposed to be, then you don't know what can happen to you. In Acts talks about Stephen, and he was called to wait tables, serve tables. But while he was doing that, it said people saw miracles and stuff, and he did that while waiting tables. So obviously, I don't know if he did miracles while he was waiting the tables, but I think that by obeying and doing what God called him to do, he was given the opportunity to walk through doors that God opened for different things, ministering or speaking the word, and that's how it can be for everyone. I mean, if you just obey, and sometimes it might be harder to hear what God's saying, but He is calling you somewhere, and we all have to know that we do have a part to play. It's not just about this one guy up front with a Bible open talking to us. It's about the relationship and the body and how everyone works together to get things done. It's that unity of purpose. To do two things: worship God and make Him known. It's a really simple idea that we'll learn over the weekend. Bob Darnell did an awesome teaching on what is our ministry. Our ministry is the ministry of reconciliation, is to make people inform people that they are reconciled unto Christ. For what Christ did for us, His sacrifice, it brought us to the point where we could have a relationship with God. He reconciled all the sin. He made it like it never happened. And people need to know that, because some people know about God, but they don't know about some of the most important things about what God did in His Son Jesus Christ, how He brought us back from sin. And some people haven't even heard of God. So we need to tell people about God and His Son Jesus Christ. And then we need to worship God, and that comes through worship manifestations and doing what God tells you to do. Obeying God is worshiping God. Gonna be more details on that with a class that's coming out soon. So something to look forward to. Now I'm still learning a lot about what worship is. We have the three worship manifestations: speaking in tongues, and then interpretation of tongues, and then prophecy. And we don't worship God by doing what we think He likes. We just obey. We just obey. And part of that is just knowing what you gotta do. Your role in the body. And some people are called to be in front. Not everyone is. And that's okay, because they're no more saved than you are. They're no more righteous than you are. And they're no more of a son of God or daughter of God than you are a son of God or daughter of God. And sometimes we we want to put a value on our position that we're in, and there is no value. We're all the same. Whether you have a guy who's up front, or whether you have a guy in the background who's making sure that he has what he needs, the guy up front, and everyone's where they're supposed to be, or you have the guy that makes sure the sound works, or you have the people greeting other people at the door, or you have the guys lining up the chairs. You all need them to have a successful, fellowship time. You have to have all those things done so that everyone gets blessed and everyone isn't distracted and everyone gets their immediate needs met. And so it's like trying to think of a clock. If a clock is missing, like, how many parts are in a clock? I don't know, a lot. if one of those parts is missing, I'm guessing the clock wouldn't work at all. And that's pretty. I'm guessing has some hundreds amounts of parts. And if one little minute little part isn't where it's supposed to be or working how it's supposed to be, then the whole thing collapses. And that's how, the body doesn't collapse, but it could work much more efficiently if we all are doing what we're supposed to be doing. And it's a walking thing to know, what God is calling us to do. But I know that we all have that, opportunity to hear God and do what He asks us to do. Something to be thinking about for this week is not to be seeking um, your position, what you're called to, but just walking with God, live life, and He'll show you through your long suits what you're most suited to be. But it's important not to just be seeking what we're called to be. We just let God show us when the time is right. And sometimes God will just say, keep doing what you're doing, and that's what you're called to do. Whether it's witnessing to people, you can call this to be a witness to people, and that's cool. So just think about what God's got in store for you besides heaven. You got a role to play. Everyone's got a role to play. So this is Sam Smith. God bless you guys. Love you. Feedback is much appreciated. And talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.